came back in silence every fear. There's a love that embraces the heartache, the pain, and the tears. Through my faith and my doubting, I know one thing for sure: His word is unfailing, His promise secure. Todo va a estar bien, everything will be alright. The whole world's in His hands, your whole world's in His hands. In the darkness, in the trials, He's faithful and He's true. The whole world's in His hands, y todo va a estar bien. Oh, 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 everything will be alright. Father, you say everything is gonna be alright, but my circumstances say I won't last through the night. I need your word to hold me now, need you to pull me through. I need a miracle, a breakthrough, I need you. They say you hold the whole universe in your hands, but my world's falling apart like it is made of sand. Am I small enough to slip through the cracks? Can you take my broken pieces and put them back? Give me faith to believe you are on my side. Open my eyes to see you working in my life. Let the past remind me you never fail, and tell my soul it is well. Oh, todo va a estar bien, everything will be alright. The whole world's in His hands, your whole world's in His hands. In the darkness and the trials, He's faithful and He's true. The whole world's in His hands, y todo va a estar bien. Oh, 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 everything will be alright. Oh, oh, oh. Padre, te confieso a corazón abierto que todo es muy incierto en este desierto. Mi vulnerabilidad está descubierto. Siento que mi barca está muy lejos de su puerto. ¿Por qué será que ya no salen solo mis días? ¿Por qué mis noches son tan frías? ¿Por qué será que siento que me falta algo? ¿Por qué este camino gris se siente tan largo? Sé que estás sobrando aunque no te sienta. Sé que estás sobrando aunque no te vea. Sé que voy a salir de esta odisea. Sé que voy a ganar esta pelea. Sé que vas a cesar esta marea temporaria. Que en ti yo viviré una vida extraordinaria. Que aunque no pueda entender, me consuela saber que todo, y yo sé que todo va a estar bien. Oh, everything will be alright. The whole world's in His hands. Oh, your whole world's in His hands. In the darkness and the trials, He's faithful and He's true. The whole world's in His hands, y todo va a estar bien. Oh, 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 everything will be alright. Oh, oh, y todo va a estar bien. Oh, oh, everything will be alright. He's got the whole world in His hands. He's got the whole world in His hands. He's got the whole wide world in His hands. Todo el mundo en su mano está. Todo el mundo en su mano está. Todo el mundo en su mano está. Y todo va a estar bien.
Well, Evan, it's good to see you, man. Thanks so much for sitting down and talking about these songs.
Yeah, it's super fun to be here.
Well, man, I'm stoked to talk about this song. We were just chatting about it, Be All Right, which has just been an incredible story for you, an incredible journey for the song. But I'd love to hear a little bit. We were just chatting about the writing story, which was super interesting. But talk a little bit about just how the song came about, the people that you wrote it with.
Yeah, well, I first wrote it in Spanish, which is really crazy to think that, I translated a lot of songs in my career and, got to rewrite this song from Spanish to English. But I was just finishing seminary, took a lot of classes that really messed me up in a good way. maybe think about, pain and suffering and how the Holy Spirit is our comforter. And I go to Redimidos' house in Georgia. He's the Latin artist that I wrote it with. And we wrote a song in the morning. We went to go get lunch. And it was just kind of like, it was a long day already. And he's like, hey, I really, have you noticed that a lot of people are suffering from anxiety and depression? And in Latin America, there's such a value of family and eating together that with the, right now, presently, people at that moment, it was January 2020, before COVID, people were, busier, stuck in traffic, working longer hours. And so I could see that there was more anxiety, depression, anger, things that are affecting younger people as well. And so we were talking about it, and he says, I just want to write a song to tell people it's going to be okay. And so we started just kicking around some ideas in his car, and we get back to his house, and my producer was there. And so we started thinking about something, and I go into the other room, and I mean, it didn't feel like it was like, this is it, but it was just a really cool chorus. Just, todo va a estar bien, everything will be all right. That was the only line in English. El mundo en su mano está, the whole world's in his hand. And so I have, just brought that in, and they were like, let's go, let's roll with it. He starts writing his rap, and that really inspired me. And we finished it in maybe 25 minutes.
Wow. Well, I remember we first heard the song. I was like, man, this is awesome. We felt like this was an Evan Kraft, like this is your pop, your radio song. I mean, the radio audience has just really embraced the song, man. Congratulations on that. Top 5 single. It's just amazing. But what really surprised us a little bit was when we started to see it, popping up in the church. Like we watch all these different indicators of how churches are engaging with songs, and Be All Right started to come up. And so churches were engaging with the song, which was super exciting. But talk about that a little bit. And I mean, what's your sense of like, obviously it's what the song is talking about that churches have really grabbed onto.
I remember in seminary, somebody said that the church doesn't have very many songs of lament. And this isn't necessarily like a lament, but it is a cry to the Lord. And I think that the second verse that Danny Goki sings, which, it was a huge blessing for him to be part of the song. I wrote that during quarantine, during, the time that was like, what is happening? My brother came out to Nashville. He was staying with me. He lost his job. He was looking for a place to live. And it was just, anxiety filled the air. And I was kind of looking over the rap, and what it was saying is like, talking directly to God, Father, like, I feel like nothing's working. And so I started just messing around with, that idea and the idea of the, like, I love that we can be honest and raw with the Lord. And I think people really, I really appreciate that in songs. So I think that when people hear it and why they would sing it at a church is to tell people, not to, pray it away or, it's gonna be fine. There's a truth that everything will be like God is sovereign and He is there with you. But in that pain, I can tell God, I feel like I've slipped through your fingers. I feel like you might not see me. And are you really big enough to take what's going on in my life and put it, because I don't see a solution to this.
Wow.
And that was really, I'm sitting there writing this and I'm weeping because I'm seeing my brother go through this. I'm seeing the world fall apart as we know it.
Yeah.
And, I hope that, I think that the reason people have, used the song in church and shared it is because it's real, and that's what, I tried to write it in a way that anybody could sing that. And it's a very universal message of, at some point or another, your life is going to fall apart. And how do you communicate, how do you articulate that to the Lord that I'm frustrated?
Wow.
And in a way that is also recognizing, God, you're good.
Yeah, man, that's really powerful. Well, man, walk us through, you're in capoed 4. Are you in B for this song?
I tune my guitar down, so
Okay.
I'm actually
Explain all that for us.
I
you a half
think
step
I'm
down
in.
tune?
I'm a whole step down.
Whole step down. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be C. So I'm up in D.
Yes. Okay.
So it starts out just with the 1 in D, and then it goes to the 3, and it goes to the 6, to the 4, and that is the entire song.
Just over and over.
And so I just kind of arpeggiate it and just kind of sit on there, and it's very simple. 1, 3, 6, 4.
Well, Evan, man, thanks so much for sharing the song with us. It's exciting to see what the song's done. Grateful to be a part of it, man, and thankful that you sat down and talked about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me share it.
Todo va a estar bien. Everything will be alright. The whole world's in his hands. Your whole world's in his hands. In the darkness and the trial,